Okay, here we go. This is a big video because Burnley probably would go down or can go down. I think it's probably the sketchiest we've been in the last 6 years we've been in Premier League. Premier League, relegation, battle. It's quite packed right now and we don't actually fully know who could go down still. There's some favourites out there, but ideally there's still 6 teams that could probably go down, maybe 7 if you tried, and includes in them some pretty big clubs in the likes of Everton, in the likes of Leeds, in the likes of Newcastle, and of course Norwich, big club. Burnley, of course, is my team, so I will try my best to not be biased and give good reasons whenever I can. But tell me just right now down below in the comments, who are your 3 right now? And if you get it right, then just I won't give you anything, just maybe a warm, fuzzy feeling in your heart or something, just it's for your own sake and not mine. But hopefully you're right. If you say that Burnley are staying up, then I'll like you. If you guys do enjoy, smash a like button, also subscribe if you're new. For the cheapest and most reliable coins on the market, go down to u7buy.com, link is down below in description, and make sure to use code Vizeh at checkout for 5% off. Let's begin. So a couple of weeks ago, exactly 2 weeks ago, I did a poll with you guys over at my Twitter. Of course, go and follow me if you have not followed me already. I tweet a lot, probably too much if I'm being honest. And I put down below of the 6 teams in question, which of course is Norwich, Watford, Burnley, Newcastle, Everton, Leeds and Brentford. Actually, that's 7 teams. I can't do maths, but you probably knew that. And I asked you guys just to tell me, do you think they're staying up or not? So as of right now, this is where you guys are at. So for Norwich, it is 87% relegated and 13 staying up. Watford is 92%, so actually more likely than Norwich, which surprised me actually. 92% for going down for Watford and 8% for staying up. Burnley, 55% relegated and 45% staying up, which is pretty much nearly 50-50. Newcastle, it is 34% going down and 66% staying up. So more people think that Newcastle, of course, with some big signings and with Eddie Howe in charge, are staying up. That's what you guys think. Everton here, 81% think that they'll be staying up, which is not really a surprise. Everton, even though they are a bit of a mess right now, they have got some good players in there and they have got quality. Leeds, would Leeds be a bit lower down? And there's a lot of people that likes them. 79% people think that they'll be staying up. And then last but not least, Brentford, and this is again quite large. I think their league position and table kind of makes them look a lot more favourable than other teams, and that is 77% on them staying up. So as of right now, it is currently Burnley, Watford and Norwich. Watford by far is the team that most people think will be going down. Of course, they just lost 4-1 to Palace, which is not helpful. Norwich are in decent form. They have faced some big teams. And Burnley, they've just beat Brighton 3-0, who literally, I think, only lost 5 times the entire season. And then they just went on and beat Conte's Spurs. But doesn't really mean much as it's Spurs. There's a lot going on right now, so I'm just giving you guys my honest opinions. And I say honest because I'm a Burnley fan, so I'll try to not be biased. However, there will be a tinge of bias here, so you're not really surprised by that. It's kind of hard because I feel like each time I think about it, there's 2 teams which I think are guaranteed. Okay, I think most people will agree that it should be Norwich and Watford, and it's just that 3rd team. The reason why I say Norwich, right, and I feel bad because I think with Norwich fans, they have a tough time because financially they're not there all day. They really are scraping the barrel. In January, they said on day 1, look, that's it for us. I'm gonna try and make the most out of what we already have, it is a shame because we know how much the financial side of football means in terms of especially the teams at bottom. And those 4 teams are Watford, and they are Burnley, and they are Norwich, and they are Brentford. We are the only 4 teams that doesn't have an owner which is worth £1 billion. God, even Brighton has an owner worth at least £1 billion. And everyone else in the league as well. So those 4 teams will always be the likely ones to go down because we're the ones that can't really just buy ourselves out. We're going to try and be smart and trying to be efficient with how we spend our money. And a great example is Brentford, that they're doing quite well, or had a pretty good start, and I think they are fluctuating a little bit, but we'll get on to them later on. Norwich, look, they're in good form right now. They beat Watford, and they've got some decent wins this year. Brentford away, got a decent result there, and they are doing better than what I thought they would be. My main issue for them is just their the defence is awful, and to stay up in this league, you must have a good defence. And I don't rate Ben Gibson, and I definitely don't rate Hanley. I don't rate either of those two. Dean Smith has done a decent job over there. However, it's hard for me to really say about Norwich that they're going to stay up. I think most Norwich fans, they understand that. They know that they probably shouldn't be staying up. And if they do stay up, it'll be a minor miracle, and there should be a stadium outside Carrow Road probably next week. Watford is, again, it's weird because, again, they've sacked a manager with Ranieri, which, I mean, we can all see that coming. And I think that will bite them in the arse here because they can't keep sacking managers and get away with it. I just don't think they can. Now, Roy Hodgson is a good manager, but I think he needs time. I think he does. And he got a good result against Villa, of course. But the goals they've been conceding and the way they've been doing it, and again, defensively, that is what keeps you up in the Premier League. And they have got goals, and probably more goals than Norwich, but they still lost 3-0 to Norwich. I think that should be guaranteed relegation. No offence to Norwich fans, but I think they can understand. I can't give a good reason of why I think they'll be staying up, other than if Roy Hodgson really sorts out that defence very fast. Because attacking-wise, they're decent. They've got some good creative players, and I kind of rate them, actually. It's just that they've got such a lack of experience at the back, and they're buying a bunch of players from overseas with no Premier experience, and that matters. And that is what I think would be the biggest factor when it comes to the teams going down. So really, it's Norwich, it's Watford. I think most people would just say it's those two. Now it's the third team, and this is the hard part here. Majority would be saying Burnley, and Burnley is probably the likely, the one that makes the most sense. It makes the most sense as we are an aging team. We've been in Premier for 6 years. We've seen it 100 times with teams that's been in there for a couple of years and then get a bit complacent with the likes of Stoke City, with the likes of West Brom, with the likes of Bournemouth. These teams that's been there for a while, they think they're safe and then they don't invest enough and then it bites them in the arse. And that would be a story that would make the most sense of Burnley. Of course, we signed Weghorst, which has been I mean, I could do an entire video on about that man, just to himself. He's absolutely incredible. But again, I'm quite biased. The one thing I can say about Burnley is that we've got Sean Dyche. And that all makes it make sense for me. I could give no other explanation about why we stay up other than Sean Dyche. And I think that's enough of a reason. I think it is. He's been there. He's done that experience. He's also, before the past, got relegated. He knows what it's like to go down. He knows what mistakes he made that made him go down. And since getting back up, we've not really been that sketchy to going down since. Maybe around April, I believe back in 18-19, it was a bit sketch and a bit of a concern in that season. I think we had about, I want to say 13 points by Christmas, and we still stayed up. And we had a purple patch. And right now, it's looking likely right now that we're going to be hitting that again. The next teams above us, okay? And the three big teams, okay? I'm going to be honest here, okay? We've got Newcastle, we've got Everton, we've got Leeds. Out of those three teams, do I think any of those three will go down? I don't think Newcastle will. Trippier's got injured, so they can get snuck into it. But I just feel like they've got enough quality there when it matters to get a result or two. And they've signed some decent players. Not Chris Wood. I don't think Chris Wood makes any sense. To this day, I still don't know why Chris Wood joined them because, let's be real, Chris Wood ain't going to be starting next year, is he? Like, he'll be there for probably the next 6 months and then become a bench player or cut player. So Newcastle, I think they'll be fine. I think Everton, again, I think they'll be fine. Frank Lampard, I think is actually a decent manager. And they have got quality in there. Like, even though they are really a mess right now, I mean, they are a mess, let's be real, they're fucking awful right now. They've still got quality, okay? And when it really matters, just that little tiny bit of an edge, which they have in abundance with Richarlison, with Calvert-Lewin whenever he comes back from injury. I don't know what's even happening. I've barely seen him play. I think he's still about. I feel like with the players that they have, they should be okay. And that's just the way I see it. I'm not even really thinking that they could go down. Leeds is a problem because I swear they're always injured. I swear most of their team is injured like every other week because they play such a high-intensity game that it seems like it just, when it really matters, they can't field their best team. If Leeds fields their best team, they'll stay up. I'm confident in that. But that's the issue. They're playing a lot of young players, which seems to be holding them back here. Defensively, they're awful. Yeah, defensively, they're awful. I believe they actually have the worst defence in the league. I think they have worse than anyone else, which, that's not a good sign, is it? The last team is Brentford. And I think Brentford could be in some trouble. I think they could be sleepwalking here into a pretty dire situation here. Their next 3 games, I believe they've got Newcastle, they've got Norwich, and they've got Burnley. If they don't get, I want to say at least 2 wins from that, at minimum a win and a draw from that, then I think they could definitely be going down as well. There seems to be a decent balance of, like, they're okay enough-ish attacking-wise. They've shown enough, but defensively, they're kind of okay there as well, vaguely. They're kind of just chilling there, and I think they had a good start. I mean, they did have a good start, and most people already thought, okay, they're fine. But they've not done much in the last couple of weeks and months, and I think that if they not be careful, they could be just dragged straight down into it, really. So for that third team, I'm a Burnley fan, so I'm not going to say that Burnley's going down. And even when we were absolutely in the mud, like a month ago, I still didn't say we're going down because I know Sean Dyche. I know what he is. I'm going to say that third team is Brentford. I would say it's Brentford. Brentford, I think they've had their purple patch early on. They've surprised teams, and I think they'd be found out. And these next 3 games, maybe I'll be wrong, and maybe in the next 2-3 weeks, I'll be laughed at by Brentford fans. This will be all over Twitter. I'm sure it will be. If they go and beat Burnley, they go and beat Norwich, okay, and they'll be fine. Maybe so. But I don't know. I hope that it's a bunch of draws and then Burnley beats them, for my own personal sake. Because I just think that they're just sleepwalking down into it. And really, in the last couple of weeks, they've not impressed me that much. Like, they've not lost disastrously in comparison to Leeds. Leeds can still go down. Burnley can still go down. But I'm going to say Brentford. There's not enough there for me. And experience, I think, is a massive factor. And they've not really got any experience in Premier League, and especially not in a relegation fight. And I think that would make a big difference. So tell me your thoughts down in the comments. I've just waffled here for about 10, 15 minutes, but that's what I usually do. I just waffle anyway. And hopefully you may have found this interesting. I'm not a Sky Sports pundit or something, so don't take my word as gospel. I will get things wrong. That's the entire point of a YouTube channel here. So, yeah. And also, by the way, thank you to the boys at Redmond TV. As you can probably tell, I don't think I even mentioned it. But, yeah, I'm using their rig and their studio while I'm in England. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. And don't kill me down below in the comments. Brentford fans, Watford and Norwich. Please don't. Okay, see you next time.